Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg with Cloudcast Media, and we got one of the coolest cats in San Diego County in the studio with us today, and that's Dr. Kami Haas, the co-founder and CEO of The Super Dentist. How you doing, Kami?
Fantastic. What a great introduction. Thanks so much.
Well, it's so true. I remember having you back on many, many years ago. We've been doing this for 17 years. It was a while. And
It was a while back.
It was a while, and I remember saying that what a great vibe you had.
Thank you.
I said, can adults come and take advantage of this? And they have now, correct?
You know what? Yeah, you planted a seed, I think, back then. So, yeah, we started as a pediatric practice. I'm an orthodontist. My wife is a pediatric dentist. Now 27 years ago, in 96. I'll tell you a quick, funny story before I get into how we got into the parent dentistry. So when I was I did my dental school in Los Angeles, UCLA. I'm on the board there right now. But, oh, yeah, you're a Bruin, huh?
My dad taught medicine there.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, then Okay, I went to USC for my orthodontics. I was going to come next. So
and this interview was over effective immediately.
So when I was graduating, we had a practice consultant at our school, which is very unusual because when you go to medical school and dental school, one of the biggest complaints from doctors is like, we don't know any business. How can we run our practices? So we were very lucky. We had 2 years of business classes, and I felt very confident about not only from dental skills but as a to open my practice. So we had this practice consultant, and she sat me down and said, Kami, before you graduate, I want to give you 3 pieces of advice. You've been one of my favorite students, and if you listen to me, I think you have some potential. If you don't, then good luck. I'm like, okay, I'm all ears. So she said, the first thing is, don't go to San Diego. Because I was planning to come to San Diego right after graduation. I got a job offer from one of my professors who practiced in Chula Vista. And so I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually planning to go to San Diego. She said, well, you grew up in Los Angeles, you went to school here, you have your family here. Why would you want to go to do you know anybody in San Diego? I said, not one person other than this one of my professors. She said, well, that's a big mistake, so don't do that. I'm like, okay, what is the second advice? She said, don't ever work with your wife. My wife is a pediatric dentist. She said, not only for the obvious reasons, but you're an orthodontist. Just to say a dentist refers you a patient, they're going to look at the other side. They're going to say, well, I'm going to go to this doctor. Why do I want to go back to my own dentist? And that's the last time you're going to get a referral from that dentist. So I'm like, okay, what is the third advice? She said, make sure you take the dentist out for lunches and cater to them because that's going to be your referral source. So needless to say, I moved to San Diego the following week, started the practice with my wife right away. And I took dentists out for a couple of weeks before I realized that was going to be the most inefficient way of building a practice because it takes years to build a reputation. So anyways, when people ask me to give advice after 27 years of doing this now, I always give them this story, and I take my advice with a grain of salt before I give you any advice.
No, I think that is great. And joining us is a curiosity shipper. It's Isha Walia. She'll be my guest co-host over the next month or so. And Isha is a student at Northeastern University in Boston.
Oh, Boston. And I'm going there next week.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. I actually lived there for 2 years.
Oh, is that right?
My dad did his MBA at Harvard. This is when I was 3 years old, so for 2 years. I thought I remembered it. When I went back as an adult, I had imagined it all because nothing looked the same as my imagination.
No, that sounds good, but I know Isha's got a question for you.
I do. Tell us about the mission of your organization.
So our mission is to help children grow up to not only be healthier, happier, and more successful, which is oral health is related to that. And if you want, I can touch upon that. But to change the how people think about oral health and dentistry in general, right? After public speaking, going to the dentist is the second biggest fear. And the number one disease in the world, according to WHO, World Health Organization, and the most common chronic disease among kids is dental disease. So in my profession, we own the number one disease and the second biggest fear. So my mission and my practice's mission, I think everybody's dentist should be this mission, is to change that. So we can have kids have positive associations with their oral care. So they actually enjoy doing it. So they actually do it. so they grow up to be healthier, happier, more successful.
Talk a little bit about, I know Isha got some more questions on that with oral healthcare, but I think what's so important, and I don't remember my dentist doing this when I was younger. Of course, that was like before running water was around these days. I'm a lot older, everybody in this room over here. But I know now everyone checks in your mouth for any diseases and all that business because so much of your overall body health is tied to your mouth. But is that a relatively new phenomenon? I don't remember doing that my dentist doing that when I was younger.
That's a really good question. So actually, I wrote about the history of that in my book, If Your Mouth Could Talk. But basically, many, many years ago...
great book title.
Thank you. So many years ago, actually, they used to, like even in BC, they used to look at people's mouth. If they wanted to know how healthy you are, they would just have you open your mouth, depending on how many teeth you had and if it was inflamed or not, they would guess the health of your mouth. Because think about it, your mouth is literally the window into your body, right? It's the opening to the body.
Right.
So it reflects not only how healthy your body is, but it also is impacted. But it's kind of a bi-directional relationship between your mouth and the body. So, and then in the early 20th century, even physicians in the United States and Europe, they thought almost every disease, from cardiovascular disease, brain abscesses, even stupidity, which at that point was an actual medical diagnosis, they used to relate it to oral health. In fact, my own grandmother, and I wrote about this in my book as well, she had no teeth as far as I remembered. And once I became like 12, I finally asked about it because when I realized, wait a minute, my grandmother is actually very young. My mom had me when she was a teenager. So I have a very, very relatively young grandmother. So I asked my grandma, hey, how come you don't have any of your teeth? How come you wear dentures? And she told me the story that when she was younger, she had a digestion issue, and they thought they checked everything and they could figure out what was going on. So they said it must be related to your teeth. So they pulled every single tooth in her mouth, even in her 20s. She was young and beautiful and perfectly healthy teeth, by the way. And so we went from that extreme of thinking that everything was related to oral health to the other extreme in the late 20th century that we thought nothing's related to oral health. And so because of this disaster of our education system, that dental schools and medical schools have always been separate, we as a profession and the society as general, we've forgotten that your mouth is inside of your body. They're linked together. And I mean, it's literally your oral microbiome is linked to the gut microbiome. The surfaces of your mouth are contiguous with the trachea of your airway. Your mouth is the opening to your GI tract. The inflammation in the body can cause systemic inflammation. The microbes in your mouth, which we have over 5 to 100 billions of them, they can get into your blood system and cause local infections in every part of your body, from your brain to the unborn baby in pregnant women, and to the valves in the heart. So yeah, oral health is connected to almost every disease: mental health, or systemic health, pregnancy health, to school performance. There was a study at USC a few years ago, so I bring up USC again, that showed that kids with dental problems are 3 times more likely to miss school,
right,
and 4 times more likely to get below average GPA. Kids in US miss 51 millions of hours of dental school because of dental problems. Think about it. If you had a toothache, could you sleep? Could you listen to your teacher? Could you eat nutritious foods? Could you concentrate on your books and education? You can't, right? I can't do it as an adult. I would, if I have a toothache, I wouldn't be able to sit here and listen to you. So our oral health is really linked to all of these, and that's why I love in the profession I'm in, because I get an opportunity to actually make a difference, and that's what we built our practice so unique.
Right, without question. We're chatting with Dr. Kami Haas. He is the co-founder and CEO of the Super Dentist. I'm Drew Schlosberg, as you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 17th year in these beautiful Mission-fed studios here in Scripps Ranch and Mission Federal Credit Union, doing great things for us in San Diego County for more than 60 years, joined by my guest co-host, Aisha Walia. She is a student at Northeastern University in Boston, co-hosting for me for the next month or so. Before we toss it back over to Isha, what's Free Dental Day?
That's a great point. So we are part of the community, right? We have over about 300 people in my team. And we want to be involved in every area of the community that we can, because we make the community better. It's the community we live in, right? We're part of it.
Right.
It's not like it's a different And it's just, we live here, our kids go to school here. So we do a ton of community outreach. We're partners with a lot of organizations like museums. We teach general education. We're part of JA, which is a financial institution. We teach financial literacy to kids. Why? Because, again, we want the kids to grow up healthier. We want them to be happier. We want them to be more successful. Those three things are really critical. And yes, most of the things that we do is related to oral health. We're a dental practice after all, but we do try to really be involved and be good citizens everywhere that we can help. And so these free dental days, we started them many years ago, and we figured, hey, yes, we accept Medicaid and we accept all the insurances for all the kids. Many years ago when we established our practice 27 years ago, I remember my wife and I went out to dinner and we said, hey, what kind of insurance should we accept? And it was more of a philosophical decision that we say, if we're going to be promoting Supermouth as a premier dental practice in San Diego, then we didn't want a kid to come to tell the parents, I want to go to the super dentist because all of my kids go, which, by the way, it is right now. Right now, we have, as you probably know, by far the largest practice. 24% of the kids in the county of the San Diego go to us.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. But one of the reasons is when we I ask a parent, hey, how did you come here? They always say, many times they say, my kids begged me to come here because they've heard it from their kids and parents and everybody else. And so we didn't want them to be able to tell them that we can't see you because we don't accept your insurance or whatever. But even though we do accept Medicaid and every insurance, no insurance, we decided that there are still kids that fall into the cracks. Homeless kids. There are kids that they just don't have insurance. They don't have paperwork. There is some reason that they just can't go to the dentist. So we started doing these free clinics. And so the next one is August 12th, on Saturday, 8 to 12 in our Escondido office. And we basically see all the kids. In this particular one, it just happens to be right before schools start in that area of San Diego. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but California, all of California, many other states, there's a requirement that every child entering public school for the first time, so that could be kindergarten, pre-K, or first grade, they must get a dental screening by a dentist, like a checklist. Wow. Why? Because of all those reasons that I just mentioned earlier, because their oral health has a significant impact on their education. And so California realized that even during COVID, I was being interviewed by many outlets that, Dr. House, we don't understand, even during COVID, with these risks, there's still requirements are there. And I said, yes, first of all, going to the dentist is extremely safe, but it's because if you're going to send a kid to the school, they want to make sure they get a good education. And because the oral health is such a big risk factor. So that's what we're doing at the clinic as well. So between 8 to 12, those of the citizens, residents of San Diego, that they just need to get they haven't had a chance to get their dental screening before Monday. Obviously, they don't have to be just from Escondido, anywhere from the county. They can come and we'll do a screening for them. We do free exam and free x-rays, and we at least tell them if they're clean, we tell them if there's need any dental work, then we can schedule that as well.
That sounds good. We come back from break. We're going to continue the conversation with Dr. Kami Haas. He's the co-founder and CEO of the Super Dentist. I'm Drew Schlosberg. Listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. I know Isha Wali has got some other questions for you, Dr. Haas, and we will be right back after this commercial break.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 17th year in these beautiful Mission-Fed studios in Scripps Ranch, Mission Federal Credit Union, just raising the bar with everybody in San Diego County for more than 60 years, with one cool cat across from me here, Dr. Kami Haas, the co-founder and CEO of the Super Dentist. Honored to be joined by my guest co-host, Isha Walia. She is a student. What year? You going to be a junior?
Yeah, rising junior.
A junior at Northeastern University in Boston. And I know, Isha, you got some more questions for Dr. Haas.
I do. I'm curious. So how do you see super dentists growing over the next few years or post-pandemic?
That's another great question. So pre-pandemic, we were a local practice. Like we had 6 locations, and then we have our command center where we have our business operations. However, during COVID, I think a lot of businesses had to rethink their business model, right? We had to scramble the first few months to be able to remotely manage. Obviously, the first couple of months we were closed. One of the things that came out of it, we digitized everything, and we learned how to manage people and manage our team members remotely. And so literally, I can't really take a lot of credit for Super Dentist these days because I'm really focused on a lot of other things, the advocacy of oral health, my book, and we launched a new company, Oral Care, Supermap. But my wife is really who's primarily running the Super Dentist, and I can tell you she runs everything through a phone and digitally. So once we started doing that, then we realized, we don't have to be in San Diego because we don't have to go to every office every day. So now we have 2 offices in the works in Southern Riverside. We have one in Moreno Valley that should be open before the end of the year, early next year. And we have one in Temecula. And then we're hoping to really grow into Riverside and then into counties beyond that. And that was one of the results of COVID, because we were all forced into doing this. Even this oral care product company that we launched, just because we realized that, hey, how can we reach out to more people? We don't want to be just be able to help kids locally. How can we do it on a national level? And then we came up with this idea of customizing oral care, and that's how we came up with this oral care product company.
You mentioned JA. I happen to be on the Junior Achievement Board, so
I love that organization.
It is, and so you're at BizTown.
Yeah.
And anyone who's been to BizTown and Junior Achievement, it's for 5th graders. And it's a little mini city, and they've got the newspapers there. I started that many, many years ago, and now Dr. Haas has a dentist office there. Is that correct?
That's right. So we have a Super Dentist mini location at BizTown Junior Achievement. And I'm told that it's the busiest, like the most interested for the kids to be part of it. So I don't know for those listeners who are not familiar with JA. JA is an international organization for financial literacy of kids. I wish it was there when I was growing up because we teach 4th and 5th graders basically the basics of what money is, So it's a really, really unique model. I love it. I love to be part of it. I'm very proud to be part of it. And so, we've been there many, many years, way before COVID. And I think they've really figured out again how to do it and try to volunteer sometimes. Like, the Shark Tank, that model. I've been on the receiving end of it. Like they have the same model for high school kids that they come and pitch their business idea, and we kind of give them feedback. So it's really fun.
No, it is a great deal. And it really gets kids to what the most important part is. And, as some of my listeners know, I got an opportunity to work for San Diego Unified many years ago, and my whole passion has been on college and career awareness, and heaven forbid we actually teach relevancy in the classroom. What a shock that is, right? And, listen, here you got your Super Dentist thing at BizTown, and they're learning science, math, accounting, and I think the beauty of that, Isha, and you and I think I've talked about it before with your major, and I know you're going to do outlining some podcasts you're going to do for Cloudcast Media. But when you look at the world of dentistry, well, I don't know anything about dentistry. Yeah, but you can be an accountant, you can be a marketer, you can be an advertiser, you can sell dental equipment. I mean, there's 45 different careers that come out of dentistry, correct?
Absolutely. In fact, in our command center in Kearny Mesa, we have a 2-story building. Down upstairs, we have a dental office and we have a dental college. It's called Howard Healthcare Academy, which we have all the dental assisting courses. We're a nationally accredited school. We have all the California approved dental classes. So that's one piece of that we could do on the education side. The other one is the corporate side. Like we call it a command center, which is our business company downstairs. So we have, just like you said, we have a call center, right? We have executive team. We have a training center. We have marketing team, we have a IT team, we have a huge accounting team with controllers and all different levels. And so if you want to be in dentistry, marketing, my favorite, because in my practice, I usually wear two hats, like CEO hat, also the marketing hat. So in dentistry, there's just so much to be done. I just love to be on the kid side of it primarily. I know we kind of mentioned this, when we were talking before we got on air, that you kind of mentioned how come we don't see adults, a few years ago. So we used to be a kids only, primarily practice, pediatrics and orthodontics. And then a lot of people like you would ask me, Dr. Haas, I love bringing my kids here. How come you don't see adults? And I used to look at it as a compliment. And then after many years, I figured maybe they actually really want us to do it. Finally, after 20 years, I finally got it. So we started this practice we call parent dentistry, which is a very unique twist to adult dentistry. So first of all, you have to have a kid in our practice. So it's by invitation only, right, to be a patient there. The second one is parents have very unique needs, right? They don't have time. They need a babysitter, right? One of the reasons parents don't go to the dentist is because they don't have time. They don't have a babysitter, a nanny to. Well, we take care of all of that in our practice. We've really, really designed it to be very unique. We have extended hours. We accept, we treat them at the kid and the parent at the same time. We have we make the parent feel special by putting the picture of their kid in the coffee foam, for example, like little things like that. And then, and to do all of this, we also make it fun. We have, all of our practices, including the Escondido, where we have our grand opening, Oh, by the way, what happened was we opened our Escondido office, just like kind of a sidetrack, right in February of 2020. And what happened in March? The world fell apart, right? The sky started falling. So we never had a launch of Escondido, and I felt really bad. So we're finally having our first, launch party, grand opening party. Again, on August 12th, from 8 to 12, we have our free dental day. Yep. From 12 to 3, we have this huge party at our location in Escondido with a carnival. We have contests and games and a talent contest for all the kids, of talented kids in Escondido and the surrounding areas. We give away prizes. We have just face painting. There's going to be, if you guys been to any of our parties at Super Dentist, we throw the biggest kids Halloween party every year. So we know how to party. And so why are we doing that? Why is a dental office doing so much fun and excitement and all of these things that you may think, what does that have to do? Why do we make movies? We have augmented reality. We make comic books. We make music. Why? Because we want the kids to grow up loving dentistry and loving going to the dentist and not hate it and be scared. Because that's the tradition right now. The biggest, second biggest fear is going to the dentist. So if we do the same thing everybody else has done, just, inject the kid and brush, and pull their teeth, well, of course they're going to hate it. I would hate it, right? Would you not hate it if you go to the dentist and that's what you do?
100%.
Yeah. But if you associate the dentist with their superheroes now, they make movies, and I'm part of this beautiful, we have slides in our Escondido office between one floor and the next. There's a slide. Why take the stairs when you can slide down to the next floor? So we do all these fun things because we want to build positive associations with oral health for life for these kids, so they grow up loving taking care of their mouth, so they actually take care of their mouth. And
their kids will take care of their mouth. Isha, another question for Dr. Haas?
I do. First of all, I have to say a slide sounds like the dream. It's amazing. But
it's wonderful. You won't believe how many levels, from my contractor to the city, everybody said, don't do it. It's just, why are we only putting a slide in the dental office? But we did it.
Oh, that's awesome. It's amazing to hear about the impact that you guys are making. And I just want to hear more about what's been your biggest accomplishment as a co-founder and CEO of this organization. To get to hear these words from the parents when I tell them, why did you come here? Or how did you, and who referred it? They say, my kids begged me to come here. I never thought that we would create a dental practice that a kid actually wants to come and see. So, and again, because I've been doing this nearly 30 years and I've seen the impact of oral health or poor oral health on a child as they develop into adulthood, it's dramatic. It completely changes the direction of their lives one way or another. So to be part of that and to do it right from the beginning and to, make a big difference in, a lot of the kids. Having some gray hair now, I run into people that I either treated them, now I'm treating their kids, my practice is treating their kids. Sometimes even their grandkids, which really feels weird now, because I've been doing this for 30 years. Some of the little kids now grown up, they had their kids. And so
it just feels amazing. I mean, it just feels so wonderful. I just went to one of my office, this dad that I had never met. He said, "Oh, you're a celebrity. Let me take a picture with you." And again, I'm like, I don't even see patients, but it just really makes me feel good to be being part of this community, and at least have made a small impact on the community over the last 30 years.
No, you made a big impact on it. So August 12th will be free dental day, 8 to 12, and then followed by a big carnival and fun and all that from 12 to 3 up in Escondido. What part of Escondido?
It's where our office is. If you want the address, I can even give you the address. The address is, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. It's 390
Yes.
West Valley Parkway in Escondido. It's right next to that beautiful new Starbucks.
Okay, very, very good. Dr. Haas, it's so good seeing you again.
Likewise, thank
you. Listen, we always ask our guests to, next time they're back on, bring in a client, bring in a kid, bring in someone that has enjoyed working with you. We love having students on the show. They love being on the show. And if you're interested, come back.
I'd love that. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Okay, consider that done. We've been chatting with Dr. Kami Haas, co-founder and CEO of the Super Dentist, Ishawalia. Just a stellar job. No question about that. Looking forward to working with you over the next month. Isha is our curiosity shipper here at Cloudcast Media. She's an incoming junior at Northeastern University. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 17th year. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.